Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Toffee TV. Bit later today because we were recording the 1878. But you all knew that because James had put a post out.
Yeah, I put a post out.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Are we good? I wonder if there's a few reds in the comments. We'll see.
There won't be any reds in the comments. Why would reds be in the comments? Unless they've come.
Sometimes they do.
Unless they've come to be cheered up.
Mm. Some come to, we're going to talk about something a lot lighter, aren't we? A lot lighter than that. James has asked the question, who replaces Idrissa Gana Gueye on Saturday? Because obviously he is serving a 3-match ban. So, who is it, Ped?
Well, first of all, happy Thanksgiving to all our American viewers, Americans living anywhere around the world. Happy Thanksgiving. With your Jag Christmas. You
get to watch, 3 games is it today or something?
Yeah, NFL, yeah. Or the Macy's Day Parade.
Parades, yeah.
This is literally the start of the holidays, isn't it, in America?
The official
This is the official start of the holidays. Just cool. I think, big opportunity for Tim Irabunum to stake his claim as an Everton first team regular and maybe the successor of Idrissa Gana Gueye, who knows? And I think it will be Tim. I think the manager's put him in the side before, and I think even when he came on at Old Trafford, he was good.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he just has to build up probably that 90-minute fitness, being able to do it in the 95th minute, getting around the pitch like we see Idrissa doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, he's not the same player as Idrissa, but that's like the final hurdle. He's very athletic. He wants to get forward. So maybe the other side of it is he has to remember his defensive responsibilities at times because Idrissa won't be there.
Yeah.
And that is important, and that's what we've all got to remember. Is like Idrissa who just nips in and knocks, grabs the ball away from someone. Yeah. Especially like Idrissa's brilliant at when like the defenders hold someone up and he just nips in and knocks the ball away and then passes it to the defender and the defender doesn't react and he walks over and slaps him. He's boss at that.
When someone puts the head on him, yeah.
So I do think it'll be Tim.
No, I think you're right. I think especially this game, Newcastle's have got a brilliant midfield, haven't they? Got an absolutely brilliant midfield. And that's where their real strength is. And therefore, Tonali, Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes, none of them sort of sit as out-and-out defensive midfield players. They're all action everywhere. And so we'll have to have 3 who can do exactly the same. The protection will probably mainly come from Jimmy Gardner. As David Moyes would call him. So we'll have to look at it that way. But the thing, I think, for me will be when Irabunum does come off in the 63rd minute, which is when David Moyes generally tends to take him off, will it be Charlie Alcaraz who comes on or Dwight McNeil? Because they're really the only 2 choices, aren't they?
Alcaraz, won't it? Imagine.
Alcaraz on and Everton maybe go, and he'll have a responsibility then to break the line. Maybe him having that responsibility might mean a Newcastle midfielder will have to go with him because he is someone who's going to keep going that way. So it's probably a headache David Moyes it is a headache David Moyes didn't want just yet.
No.
But he's got it and you have to deal with it, don't you? And again, it's a pity Merlin Rowe isn't available, or we don't think he's going to be available, do we? We'll find out tomorrow. I think the manager said last week it would be a couple of weeks away at least. So,
but how long has it taken Patterson to get back? And he had the same thing.
Didn't he have plantar fasciitis?
Is that what the latest one is?
Sure. It was the hernia and that, I think. So that might be a bit of it. But
maybe.
But he obviously isn't ready because I imagine he would have played in the 21s the other night.
Yeah.
To get some fitness, as we saw Asnu playing in it. And he didn't, so we'll know more obviously tomorrow with David Moyes' press conference. But it'll be an interesting one, won't it? Because it's a tricky one because their midfield is that good. Yeah. So we've got
a recovery from a hernia operation generally takes 4 to 6 weeks for a full return to
4 to 6
for a full return.
The back, but
most people can resume light daily routines within 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Depends heavily on the type of surgery, open or keyhole. Well, he'll have a keyhole, won't he?
Yeah.
So
4. He had it. Not
2 days after Fulham, he had it.
Yeah. So he's like 3 weeks in. Yeah, it's probably Forest, maybe.
Chelsea.
Not Chelsea, yeah. But that's it.
Well, he'll have time, did I imagine, to come back when the AFCON.
Yeah. So again, listen, that's the way it is, isn't it? But it's an opportunity for Irabunum, and it's an opportunity for Charlie Alcaraz as well to get himself in there. Yeah. Stephen Williams, he isn't a crock, is he? Go and look at the games. He averaged 30 odd games a season. Last season he did not. He was injured. I still think he played 20 last season. So last season wasn't a great season fitness wise for him. So,
yeah, cuz.
But that's it, isn't it? Danny Church says, if any Reds are on here, welcome to a proper podcast, and you won't find the Irish Uncle Fester crying here. I mean, fair enough. Philip Gamera says, do you think Harrison Armstrong will be back in January?
Yes.
Do you?
I think...
Saying that he's injured at the minute.
I think injury. He might come back in January.
And go back again.
That can be done. I'm just putting it out there. But he could come back. He could sort of come back for a week, and they could maybe make an assessment. I don't know. He might come back and they might even tell him.
I think he'll stay for the season. I really do. I do, but we'll see, won't we? We will see. Kobe Manu on loan in January, would you?
No, hang on. Why would Manchester United send Kobe Manu on loan to us?
Because they don't want him, do they?
Yeah, but he's not going to send to us. We're a rival. Well, we are though, aren't we? We're a direct rival. There's no chance he's going to come to us.
Steve, I know he hasn't played a lot, but let's just see how it goes. He's had an injury that has been bothering him, and he's had surgery on it. So I don't call players crocks, mate. It's an easy throwaway comment. If you want to call him, it's fine. I'm not going to be calling him. He probably could be recalled now, Mark, but I don't think that does anyone any good. There might be a break clause in the agreement.
I can't imagine he'd be allowed to be.
He's not going to be brought back before January. So, and then what happens? You bring him back, and then if everyone's fit, he doesn't play. For me, he just should stay where he is. Gareth says, good afternoon, lads. Hope you're all well. How are the Redmen next door? They do look shell-shocked. But they're kind of getting used to it. They've lost 9 of the last 12. So they're kind of getting used to it now, I think. They just ate footy, they said. So, we've been telling them this for weeks and weeks. Before we carry on, one sad thing, it is 14 years today since Gary Speed died, which is obviously an awful situation. So yeah, so if you're feeling down with anything, try to reach out to someone, speak to someone. It's massively important to remember to do that. Sam says, is Guy's suspension final? Hoping it got rescinded.
No.
I think Everton have explored it. I don't know how long it takes. They're definitely not going to be reduced to no ban. Do you know what I mean? He's definitely going to have to serve 1. I don't know how quick they hear it. They might have just been knocked back straight away. I don't know. Maybe David Moyes will know more tomorrow. Well, David Moyes will know more. David, whether or not he'll have any more info on it tomorrow, we'll find out. We will find out. Trilos says Garnacho went to Chelsea and they were a rival at the time.
Yeah, but they sold him, didn't they? They bought him. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's like actual cash.
David Moyes might want him. David Moyes might want to loan a striker from a Premier League club. Although Richarlison scored again last night. Yeah. Although Kolo Muani got 2, didn't he, last night? So that might, against his parent club.
Yeah, which is the way it should be.
Which is a grown-up thing, but the Premier League doesn't do it. Nicholas Sadlier says 1-0 to Everton on Saturday. Gardner with a daisy cutter.
Good.
Yeah. I know, Mark, it's incredible, isn't it? I can remember the exact... I was working social services. I was doing a home visit. It was a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And it came on, the radio on, I was driving, it came on. I had to literally pulled over for 10 minutes because it was awful news. Yeah, Liverpool have lost the last 4 of the last 6 at Anfield.
Incredible.
I mean, I've never known,
Savoury.
as bad as they've been. I know in COVID, when they were champions, they lost 6 games on the run at Anfield. Yeah. But I've never known them to get beat like 3-0 at home and then 4-1 at home a few days later.
It's isn't it the worst run since like the 50s, and they got relegated that season? Yeah.
Well, they've lost the last 3, 3-0, 3-0, 4-1. Haven't they? It's just very much unlike them, isn't it?
It's crisis time.
Which is mad. And they're talking about sacking a manager who they were all saying was incredible.
Sack everyone.
Alex Gray says one option is Dewsbury all drops deep and Alcaraz plays in the 10. Otherwise, the only plausible answer is Tim. Trilos says, how about Sancho to Villa then? Who knows? Listen, who knows? Who knows whether Manchester United they consider it? I don't know. Right? We'll see. But Everton, I know that they're looking at a centre forward as well. Maybe at options. Although the other one was the lap and he scored the other night, didn't he, against Barca? What a win that was, by the way, for Chelsea. Beating Barca 3-0. I know they had a man sent off, but still a great result, isn't it? Where did they rank at them? I know we'll get back on Everton 1 second. No, I know, but do you think they probably are the second best team? I know they are at the moment, but I mean, what do you think overall?
They're a bit weird, aren't they?
Got good players, haven't they?
No, they have got good players. The longer it goes on, I suppose they'll get better as they gel more.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah. Not really, that's strange. They spent more money than bloody Catholic Church.
I meant when you look at them, given like the likes of Sunderland, men and beat them the other week, and I think Sunderland.
I do think they have got those games in them, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because they think they lack experience.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Mad. Ranjit says he thinks Tim will replace Idrissa. Seems like the only one, doesn't it? Bert says, afternoon, guys. Anyone know if Roll will be back for the game? No. If so, I'd be just throwing him straight in there. Night game under the lights. Newcastle just played away in Europe. Big atmosphere, and we do these shit-houses. Big game. We could have done with them playing Wednesday, last night, couldn't we? But it's what it is. It is what it is. Gary Ward says Irabunum fills in for Ghana, which makes him first in line to smack Keane. Gary Ward's gone. Harrison wants Dewsbury Hall deeper and Alcaraz in the 10. I feel bad for Charlie, apart from his haircut, though. Don't you feel bad for him with the haircut?
It's not great, like.
Derek says, I'd like to see Dewsbury all alongside Garner and Alcaraz in the 10. The chance of this happening is 0, especially after Dewsbury Hall's worldie on Monday night. I think it's more, if you look at the quality in Newcastle's midfield, them 3 in midfield are brilliant, aren't they? It's probably one of the best midfields, I think, in the league. Them 3 when they're on. I don't know how well they're playing at the moment, and I know like Joe Linton's been out and back in and stuff, but when they're on song, and it might not be at the moment, but when they were in full flow, I think they're a really good 3, aren't they?
But it's one of those things, isn't it, of like, has it had its time? Has it come and gone? I don't know.
Yeah. But what I mean is, it's more,
it's energy. There's loads of energy, isn't it?
He's unlikely to have Alcaraz in there from the start.
Can't imagine it.
Mark Max says, watching the Copites meltdown makes me now know their fans couldn't be our fans. They couldn't deal with the shite we've had. Soft Oxford, a lot of them. Anyway, Tim or Dewsbury all deeper and Charlie in. One thing I will say, I know it's probably going to be the only thing I say on it about it, but I'm going to reference it, is they booed on Saturday at the final whistle, and they booed last night.
Boo last night.
So when they give us stick about, you boo, you've had a few weeks of not being very good, and your players underperforming, and you're booing. We've had 30 years, intermittent good football, but a lot of false promises, a lot of false dawns, a lot of players who didn't care or look like they didn't care. So you're just the same, so pipe down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Dewsbury with Garner, I'd say bring Charlie in, says Dickie Mintz, who wants a straightener with Bonk. And Mark Mack says, when the Red Shite get relegated, will Newcastle default to our derby match? No.
Maybe.
You can't have a derby with a team that's never won anything. Can you? Really? You know, Carabao Cup doesn't change anything in 70 odd years. That can't be elevated to a derby. So
this is my message to Liverpool fans, right?
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but brain.
There you go.
There you go. Brien says, has a club ever won the league and then got relegated the following season?
Yeah, I imagine
I'm
they
sure
probably
they
have.
Yeah.
It was a wild time, you know, before like the 60s and stuff. Crazy.
Steve P says, I watched the Chelsea game and it's mad looking at Barcelona now compared to when I used to watch them as a kid. They had nothing. The difference in physicality was mad from the kickoff. It was like men against boys. They were just getting bullied off the ball constantly, even before the send-off.
That's the Premier League, though, isn't it? That's when we talk about the Premier League. It's just
dip, though, isn't it? Everyone else has got beat. City got beaten.
No, I'm just saying the physicality of the Premier League.
Newcastle,
Spanish League is dip because Barca have dipped because they haven't had the money, have they? And they've only just got back into the new camp at the weekend.
It's not even that as well. The Barca team you're talking about, Steve, growing up watching, was one of the greatest teams ever. It had Lionel Messi in, who will never ever be replicated. It had Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, Jordi Alba, players like this. Then you go Neymar and Suarez. You know, it was just an incredible set of players and an incredible period for particularly the Pep ones. Was unbelievable.
It's just and the Spanish league's just not that attractive anymore to players. Premier League is where all the money is, and it's only got look at that Chelsea team. Look at the players they've bought. Look at the contracts they're on. That young lad that they've got at them. You know, Chelsea can attract players, put them on mad contracts for 7 or 8 years. Like, why would you even think of going anywhere else but to these Premier League clubs?
Yeah, the quality, don't get me wrong, the quality of the Premier League's dipped, it has. No matter, people try to sell you this thing, that it's loads of quality. It isn't. It isn't. And you've seen that in Europe this week. Teams getting dicked by other clubs. So you can't sell that anymore. It's the best league and all. It's the most entertaining probably but physically, the physicality of it, the athletes, the power of them. So you can outrun these teams, and particularly, it'd been interesting if Chelsea would have gone and done it at the new camp. Then you'd go, bloody hell. But, you know, having it at Stamford Bridge and then getting a man sent off. But they're built differently, those clubs, aren't they? Like, see, like Real Madrid, go to Liverpool, and, you know, one of the only games Liverpool have won last few months was Real Madrid at Anfield. They have these moments, these teams, don't they? They come here and our physicality and the intensity they can play at that really upsets these clubs. But Chelsea should be good. Like you said, the money they've spent, they should be good. Shouldn't they? They should be. Barcelona haven't spent anywhere near that money lately. In the last few years, they've had to get rid of players, haven't they? And Messi being one of them, because of the way it's done over there. Their rules are. But they'll come again. It just depends how it does. But I imagine they won't have a team like they had, because it felt like once in a lifetime, that team of where everything was brilliant. They will have great teams again, I'm sure of it, but that one is one of the classic.
They're never going to have the greatest player of all time playing in a team like that, are they? It's just never going to happen.
Unbelievable.
It's the greatest football team of all time, as far as I'm concerned. That Barcelona team was absolutely incredible.
Brian Garside says maybe Newcastle United will rest a couple of players, possibly a midfielder. Can't see it, Bright, to be honest. Can't see it. They've got another game on Tuesday, haven't they, or Wednesday, and another game, and then Champions League again. So it's all, they're right in the midst of it now. Leeds were close in 92, didn't they win the league and finish 17th, Mark said. Did they the next season? So they won it in 92.
91 they won it.
Sorry, 91.
Well, 91, 92, 92, hang on, was the Premier League? Premier League started 92, 93.
They won it in 91, 92.
Yeah.
George says, has anyone had a forever blue ballot response for the Arsenal game? Thought we did this morning. No idea, mate. So it's out there. Anyone, if you've had a ballot response for the Arsenal game, please let us know so George can find out. And Rye says, going to my first Hill Dickinson game against Newcastle, but I'm sat on me Billy no mates. Will there be Evertonians all
never
around?
Sat on
Very
your
much
own.
like love is all around. That's what Wet said. Or Christmas is all around, as Bill Nye said.
He did say that.
And was it the Trogs who sang Love Is All Around Me before?
Probably. I'd imagine so. It feels like what they do.
The Trogs, yeah. Crimson says that Barcelona team was ridiculous. It was, wasn't it? So you can never... I understand what Steve's point is, but I just think you can never look at that Barca team and then look at this one, because you will be tempted.
Oh, my God.
Oh, go on.
Everton have just put a social media post out of Idrissa Gana Gueye and Michael Keane having a boxing fight. We have won! We have won! Stop the clock!
In Finch
We have won!
Farm.
It's all over. Everton have won. Everton have won the social...
Everton's admin's been...
Everton have won the social
fire,
media.
as the kids say this.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. They have done it.
We don't need copyright strikes for music.
Not music, that's them two shouting.
Okay.
They've won it. They've bloody done it.
They've gone and done it again. He'll be finished, I believe, wasn't he?
James, get that on our socials, my friend. Come on.
It's off his story, isn't it?
Whose story is it?
Tieno Barry.
Is it Tieno Barry? Get it on Tieno Barry. Get Tieno Barry's socials on our socials. Social that social up. Be a social boy. Come on. It's your job, man.
Stephen Williams says here, looking forward to seeing Barry on Saturday night. Seen enough over the past 3 games to say there's a good player there. Absolutely, Steve. Just needs to, I think the fans, the Fulham thing, I think massively helped them. Really did. But his performance at Sunderland was good. It was starting to get back because we've backed giving him a go and all that. And against Palace when he started, he just was miles off it. And yet he wasn't miles off it for Brighton. So there was a dip somehow. I don't know whether it was a confidence dip or whatever because he wasn't in the team. Sunderland, I know he missed the chance, but he done enough good stuff that night to go, he's starting to pick it up. Fulham, really good. And I think the fans giving him a standing ovation has really cemented it for him. Went and done a really good job the other night. Just need a little tap in or a header close range or something just to get him up and running. And I think we'll see another level from him, but he's getting better. I still think we need another one in January. Absolutely we do. We'll see. Mark, no, Walter Maid was just left out the other night. I know we played Anthony Gordon as a striker the other night, but Walter Maid came on. Came on after an hour or so, didn't do much, but he was on there. Alcoholic Anonymous says, I don't want to help Mainu for 6 months just to give him back to United.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair one. Yeah. It's a fair one. Crimson says, Barca had a great team when those players left, so did their high bar. But the bar was massive, wasn't it? It was massive.
They couldn't financially cope.
No.
It's as simple as that. They could not financially cope with what was going on in the world. Everyone else had to catch up, and they just didn't have the money to do it because of the new camp and because everything else.
Yeah. Philip Gamerin says Man City won the league 36-37 and got relegated.
Sounds very Man City,
38. That. Liam says new Christmas food options, Pet. Well, there is. Everton have released their new...
I was wondering what he meant by that. Like, was I eating something new for Christmas?
Oh, maybe. What are you doing for Christmas? Because...
Christmas
didn't you have something different last? Didn't you have like a buffet last year?
My mum once actually said, did we want to go for an Indian? But I think we're gonna have. I think we're just gonna have a normal Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play, yeah. Fair play.
But I'm having to food journal everything at the moment. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. You can't at Christmas.
I know. Every calorie is getting accounted for at the moment. So I'm like,
what are you on? My food?
my fitness pal. Yeah. So everything's getting accounted for. So I can't be doing that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be like eating all the time because I've got out the habit of eating basically.
It's just habits, isn't it?
So, but I'll have a proper Christmas dinner.
It's Christmas, mate. You'll have a couple of days off. Craig says 3 shots, 1 goal. When have Everton last been so fucking ruthless in front of goal? That's it. Ian Murphy says the fact that blew my mind was PSV haven't beaten Liverpool since 2008.
How many times have they played
They've
them?
only played them a handful of times after if that. Who beat them?
The other week.
It was final. Was it
Galatasaray.
No, beat them 3-2
last year.
season.
That was them last year,
That was
wasn't it?
PSV, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bakayoko scored that.
Bakayoko and Ricardo Pepe scored.
And didn't that like change the table so it would fuck Liverpool up?
Because they went and rested loads of players and thought he was clever, didn't he, Slot? And he ended up losing it. They had that kid who's had 2 appearances.
At what stage, though, can we just say he's an absolutely shite manager?
We can say it whenever we want.
He's turning... I mean, my missus asked me last night and I just went, he's Roberto Martinez.
I did say...
He had something that was good and pure and he put a touch of his own little juices on it. And then when he's gone full himself, it just turns to shite.
But last season, I wasn't convinced, but I've said this many times.
No, we all said it, I think.
They were just like Leicester in 2016. They just kept getting the results when they needed them, which is credit to them, as Leicester got credit. But everybody else was just crapping off it. And therefore they won the league and everyone built them up to be the Klopp team, but it wasn't the Klopp team. And then they went and the recruitment in the summer was crazy. It was mad. For me, they didn't need it. Should have been. Liverpool have been really good for 10 years, recruitment wise. 9-10 years, and they went very un-Liverpool like, and it's knocked it all out of kilter.
We've said it for
it. Van Dijk,
whatever you want,
a new contract.
Giving Salah and Van Dijk was the maddest thing. Sir Alex Ferguson would never have done that.
No,
We'd never have done that.
Pep wouldn't have done it.
That it should have been agreed the summer before.
Shook their hand and gone, see you, mate. Oh, he should have chased the pair of them in the summer. Van Dijk more than Salah, I must add. For me, if I had to keep one of those 3, it would have been Salah. Van Dijk would have been chased. Trent was going anyway. And they should have got a good centre-back in the summer.
Who cares? Who fucking cares? Fucking revel in it! Kevin Sheedy, come on! Fucking revel in it! Let's get on the phone to Sheedy, let's get him in. It's a 10 minutes pay him to stand by that door just going, fuck off! Fucking revel in it! Gang of fucking cunts, the shit we have to hear from them fuckers out there. Fucking revel in it!
Fair play.
Yeah.
Crimson says, do we have a Barry song? No, not yet. Let him just get a goal. Let him get a goal and then they can do it.
Come up with one.
Craig says prime Kaka or prime Samuel Eto'o.
Different players. Kaka was special until he got that knee injury. He was one of the most balanced attacking midfielders. He was just unbelievable, you know. He was just one, but he was fucking brilliant as well. And he went on the left for Inter and helped them win a Champions League. There's no point going that player or that player when they're like at that level. You just have to just watch them and go, this is great, isn't it? I mean, you can't do that now because, honest to God, I'm happy Mbappe's like doing the business and like 7-minute attack last night. Unbelievable. Well, and then he got the 4th in the second half, and you're like, this is great. And the kid for PSG last night, but there just aren't those players around anymore. Like, I put some on Twitter the other day, that 90s football on Twitter is the greatest account. Honestly, I could just and they put Rivaldo's hat-trick for Barcelona in the last game of the season, and anyone don't know, it was the hat to get into the Champions League, and actually getting into the Champions League was what's like kick-started that whole era. And he scored the hat-trick, but he scored it over a kick from the edge of the box in the last minute of the game. And it was, I remember watching it live, And I put out, I was like, no one even considers this fella as like anymore. And then someone messaged me like, we always talk about them, was like, there was just this big group of players, and it felt like everyone had a top level player. Like Nedved now would be referred to as one of the best players in the world, and yet then he was Zidane's understudy at Juve. And I just feel like we just don't have that calibre of playing anymore.
It's gone because it's coached out of them. We have more coaching than anything, and it's all sanitised and it's coached out of them. They don't want individualism. Thierry Henry was talking up. There was a clip last night. Must have been their Champions League show, talking about it, and he was like, "Everyone's obsessed with fast players, having a big fast player." He was like,
"What were you, Thierry?"
No, but he was what he was saying was people are obsessed with big fast players, and he was like, "But it's no good if the big fast players puts the teammates and the fans at threat because they can't control the football and they can't dribble."
The problem is though that it's gone so much one way that it's all you can do is fight fire with fire. So when we look at our team, what we say is
we need pace. Yeah,
we need pace. We need pace. And that's the problem, is no one ever says, yeah, but if you had a midfielder in the middle of the park who could get hold of the ball and start spreading it round, it's like that issue is because there's so few of them. That play is more expensive than getting the big fast player on the wing, and that sort of fixes half your problems in one go. Do you know what I mean? It's like Forest go to Anfield, do that. And it's not because they technically are any better, because of course they're not, but they've got good players in transition. And that's... So how do you... It'll come back eventually, but it won't come back if someone doesn't make that decision in international academies and says, we need to start
having
these good footballers again.
Just going and getting athletes.
And if it dries up, because actually, Spain are a really good example of that. You look at Spain at the moment and you think, well, who are their most important players? And their most important players are Yamal and Williams, aren't they? And they're both really fast wing. Now, don't get me wrong, they're technically very good players. But you're not necessarily going, we're talking about that Barcelona team and that Spanish team. And the most important players were Iniesta and Xavi.
Yeah.
They were the brains of the team. And Busquets, those three players were the most important players in that team. Okay, Messi was the difference in that Barca team. But then the Spanish team, it didn't have Messi in it. Those three players were the brains of that whole operation. And everyone played in service to them, and Thierry Henry said that himself. He played in service. Yeah. You had a natural six who was maybe one of the greatest ever sixes ever in Busquets. Yeah. You've got Xavi, one of the greatest footballers ever, and you've got Iniesta, who could break the lines, but it was also fantastic. Now, when you look at the Spanish team, they've got good footballers. Don't get me wrong, but you don't look at them in the same way. But what you go is, wow, they've got Yamal and they've got Williams, and that's the difference now. And we've gone over to that side. And football comes around in cycles, but if people don't start identifying those players, but then what you do need now and again is a player to just naturally come out and be like, he's amazing. What an amazing footballer he is. We don't change. And then someone else goes, wow, look at the impact he's having. We need one of them. Yeah. We need one of them. We need one. And that's when it goes back, isn't it? When the cycle starts being, wow, what a footballer.
No,
that's it, isn't it?
We're looking now and they are few and far between.
Put it this way, and this has always been the debate. Now, I've never had this debate because I don't, in my opinion, I don't believe Ronaldo. He's not in my top 5. Other people can have that argument all they want. I don't think there's an argument. But I think it's much easier to make a Ronaldo than it is to make a Messi. You can't make Messis. You can make Ronaldos. You can make Ronaldos. You can find a kid who's got talent and is fast, and you can build them into a Ronaldo. You can't make Messis. And that's the difference for me. So you can find those kids and you can keep pushing them up that road. You're fast, let's add on all the bits. You can't make Messis, and you can't give footballers intelligence either. But you can give footballers that other stuff. And that's why we're going. It's just shortcuts. It's teams keep shortcutting, and that's how we've ended up with the football we've ended up with, which is just pacey and strong, and you bully teams now, and you look at footballers and you look at what you can do with them. It's why It's why we've got players playing into their late 30s, and you look at them and you go, wow, they are absolute specimens.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's mad. Andreas says, what's a normal Christmas dinner for you both?
Gone very early.
Normal, just, yeah, we have gone early. Basically, like a roast dinner, mate. I don't have roasts, you see, in a year. So I have it at Christmas.
Yeah.
James is shaking his head.
So the last few years, we've gone into buffets. And we've had buffets just for the last few years because it's just a lot easier. And like, you know, my mum's 70 next year and she does it all. So like it's easy on her as well. And you don't get it, you know, there's not like, it's all there. You don't have to mess around with loads of stuff. You just go out, buy it, and that's it.
Yeah, we like.
But I think
it up a bit, but it's the roast, like a roast, mate. But then we're having chicken this year, not a turkey.
It's controversial.
I know.
Controversial.
I think that's it. Yeah,
Fair play.
something different, but yeah, all good.
I love the way James is shaking his head.
He is. He's
having no input into
the dinner.
into it in the dinner. He just sits down,
gets his mint sauce,
puts his headset down, off his Xbox, off playing the new game Call of Duty Online that he's got for Christmas. He's still in his bills. Puts the headset down. Mum's shouting him very much like Fletch. Twice last night, didn't he? Twice she called him.
Sure.
No, she called him twice. We had someone else on and someone was ringing the doorbell. Clearly, like, parcels going on. Comes down in his bills. He's got a bit of a huff on because he's on a 7-kill streak. And plaques his arse down, eats it, goes back upstairs, back on the Xbox. That's it, isn't it?
That's fair play.
Here's a question for you.
Go on.
With it, no Christmas, like Christmas, don't expect too many people on the roads. Would that not be a good day to chance a motorway journey?
Would be,
just go up and down the motorway because it's nice and quiet.
Just a little bit of
I think
wheels. Just go out for half an hour.
Just go up the motorway, back the motorway, come home with your beans. Just been shopping, mate.
Your motorway virginity gone.
Yeah.
Do it. Just said, Steve says I've been watching the MLS playoffs and Messi's on another planet. Yeah, he's unbelievable. I know, listen, people can have a go at the league, whatever. He's done it forever and ever, amen, and he's fantastic, and he's still doing it. Now I'm watching a genius footballer with that close control and the ability to pick a pass and score all sorts of goals. It's still an absolute delight to watch him. So I love watching him. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Will Smith says, super, but that is why Ronaldo's a better role model for people.
He's not a better role model for anyone. He's not a better role model for absolutely anybody. And also, after this week, Jesus Christ, the biggest con ever. That, you'd lay with dogs, you get fleas, mate.
He's unbelievable at what he's done.
Does that make him a role model, though? Why does that make him a role? Messi is just unbelievable, but no one can say he didn't work hard for it. I don't think that makes him a better role model.
I think Ronaldo, what he does in his diet and everything. I mean, he's over a kick the other night. Still doing that at 40. He was incredible, but he's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. He's used, squeezed. He's obviously very talented, but he's squeezed everything out of himself, which is brilliant at what he does.
But I don't think it's football clubs. Going back to the original point, I don't think it's the player, it's the football clubs that are going to start pushing players at an early age down a route, and it will have nothing to do with the player. The player will be used. This has been going on in Brazil for years. Brazil realised that Europe wanted number 6s, dominant midfielders. They didn't want number 10s anymore. So they started sort of a number 10 comes in. No, we're not going to waste any resources on them. What's the point? We're going to put all our resources into these sellable assets, and that's the problem, isn't it? It's they don't want the number 10s anymore. You know, they want these big midfielders who are going to dominate. So this kid comes in and he's dead talented. Nah, you're all right, kid. We're not going to put any resources. This other kid comes in who might be less talented. We'll build him up. And I'm not saying that'll be good for some footballers, but for us, as someone who loves football and watches football and wants to be dazzled by these players, whoever they are, there's going to be less of those players, and the football's going to become more and more robotic, and you'll get less Ronaldos actually because of that as well, though, because it's all gonna go.
His professionalism is unquestioned.
Of course it is.
Ronaldo, he's different. His mentality is like different level, really. So what he is just that. He's incredible. Isn't
You can't, and you won't be able to make
Messi's
that.
unbelievable.
You won't be able to make that. You won't be able to make. You can't make Ronaldo's mentality either.
No,
and that's where he's got to where he's got.
He came from. I mean, you look.
That's where he's got to where he is. His mentality. But I'm just talking about there's almost like two sides of the coin, isn't it?
You're absolutely right, though, Mark Doyle. Ronaldo isn't even the best Ronaldo.
No, he's not the best
nowhere
Ronaldo.
near.
He's not in my Ronaldo. Isn't in. I've said this loads of times. He's not in my top 5 footballers of all time. He simply isn't. Maradona and Messi are absolutely miles ahead of him.
Yeah, Maradona was
miles ahead of him before he even started. R9's ahead of him.
Ever lived, really.
So
for putting everything into one, for putting pace, technique, dribbling ability, finishing, cleverness, intelligence, putting it all together in one body as a centre forward. R9's the greatest striker ever lived. Unbelievable. There'll never be another one like him who has all of that talent. There's other ones who've been fantastic footballers, and he had 2 terrible knee injuries, was still unbelievable. If he wouldn't have ever got injured, if he played now, you're talking $500 million would be the transfer fees they'd be talking about with R9. Everyone would want him. And in nowadays, when you can't touch the player, God, he'd get 80, 90 goals a season. He was in an era where they were just chopping him down. It was better than Maradona's era, because that was butchery. I mean, Van Basten got done by the Al scissor challenges from behind. But R9 was still just in that infancy. If he was around now, he wouldn't be you'd pay 500 quid to go and watch him a game because he was that good.
But the bigger picture is that we're going to lose what we love about football eventually if we keep going down the route we're going down, because it will all be about. Of course, you'll still have those magic players who can do things, because you'll need that magic to get away from those bigger players.
Only be the odd one, though.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying.
And Jai stands out like a sore thumb now as a player who can dribble. Everyone's like, oh my God.
And that's the mad thing. Everyone, when you see a player like that, every fan wants one.
Of course.
And it's like, so we're going away from what we actually want. We're going away to something that people feel they need because it is so cut and thrust.
The clubs are ruining it. Yeah. Clubs have got inadequate coaches looking for shortcuts, and they just building. Watch academy football. Yeah. Every striker virtually is the same. Every one of them. They're big, they're powerful, they can't control a ball, they run around in straight lines. Yeah. There's no intelligence there, as in, I'm not saying the lads individually aren't intelligent, the way it's playing. There's none of this cleverness, bend and runs. They're not pick. It's why I look at Brien Graham for us, and you look at him and you go, looks really talented, like clever, really good movements. He's dead slight. So you look and go, he's going to have to really bulk up to be able to survive. And that shouldn't be the case. It should be, is he good enough? Is he intelligent enough? Looks like. Hopefully he can build himself up a little bit, because you've got to. But we want to be encouraging the likes of Brien Graham, who's a little bit different, rather than just having the same. Everton have got, and most of them have all got the same prototype striker. If you go and look, not a penalty box forward. They're all 6'2" or 3. Not impressed with any of them. And it's why there's a dearth of strikers. And you look at it and go, these football clubs spend a lot of money. They bring these kids in at 5 and 6. They coach them every day, and not one of them spits out a great centre forward. Not one of them.
And the thing about football is now, academy football, you know when they're 15, if they're going to make it. You don't even need those under 21s. You know, it's like you watch Everton under 21s. There's not. I've said this loads of times. You watch them, you just go, no one's making it. No,
because the coach's wrong.
No, that's what I'm saying. You know when they're 15. You see them when they're 15 and go, he'll make it. And
the ones who come through later are the ones who generally do even better, which is mad. Lads who haven't even been at academies. Look at Adam Ola-Luckman. Got picked up in a pick-up game and he was nearly 17. Yeah. He was 17, I think, or just about to be 17. And he's turning it up in Serie A and scored a hat-trick in a European final and stuff. He never went through academies. He didn't get all that knocked out of him. Illiman and Jai. Yeah. We're all talking about it now. Was playing non-league at 19 or something. Was that the YouTube team, right? Yeah. If he'd have gone to an academy at 15 and stayed, all that would have been beaten out of him. It would have been beaten out of him. He'd have probably not made it. Wouldn't have made it at Everton probably because they'd have gone, yeah, you're not 6'3", you can't do 100 metres in 9-10 seconds, so you're gone. And then, or any other Premier League club. And yet these are the players we all want now. You know, look at Eze. Eze's unbelievable. And yet 9 clubs said he wasn't good enough. 9. And it's like, I think you all need to look at your coaches and start thinking of football in a different way. Stop trying to build athletes. Start trying to build footballers, and then England might be better, you know. Wayne Rooney's the greatest player England have ever produced. And he was a lad who was on, still kicking around with his mates on playing the Premier League game, going home, playing street footy after it. Because he was playing in a different way. You look at him now, who's the next England striker who everyone's excited about? There's Harry Kane.
What happens if Harry Kane gets injured?
Yeah, exactly. I like Watkins, but he's a runner and he's a channel runner. So then after him, you go, who's next? Who is it? Liam Delap. Liam Delap's just a lad who likes a bit of a scrap. He's like an old style number 9. There's no one who you look at and go, it's got to be him. It's got to be him. Most of these clubs are just beating it out of the players because academy football's terrible. Coaches are terrible. And English football's terrible in terms of producing skillful players because it's beaten out of it.
Yeah.
And we don't want that, surely. I'm going back to the original point. Brazil got onto this and started moving away from the thing that was so exciting about what they did. Started Europeanising it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really... So when you do, because this all started from you in the 90s football thing, there was just so many, wasn't there? They were everywhere.
Yeah.
They were everywhere. Players who you'd look at now. Christian Vieri, he was a big, powerful striker, but he was unbelievable. And yet, he was just one of many. You just go, yeah, he's good. That was it, wasn't it? Now, there'd be a clamour to get him.
Yeah.
And all of those 9s are gone, aren't they? And we had 9 and 10s, then we had 2 strikers. It's all changed. But even the wide players now aren't old-fashioned wingers, are they? They're just quick.
Pacey.
And it's why when you watch Jack Grealish, we all love going to watch Jack Grealish. He isn't all about, I've got to knock it and sprint after it. He's intelligent, great first touch, draws a foul, picks a ball up, play a pass. That's why we love watching him and Jack, don't we? And hopefully that's what Dibbling will mould into as well.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'd end up with the Dharma Traore. He's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
Can sprint up and down. But his end product is terrible for his power. It's terrible for a lad who trains every day and has done for 15 years or 12, whatever it is. How can you be that poor?
Yeah. There's no output.
There's no output.
Hardly any goals, hardly any assists.
And the money's on.
But he's got baby oil on his arms.
You know.
Utter nonsense.
Danny says, me too, Baz fucking a turkey off this year. Yeah, absolutely. Crimson says, well said, Baz, I see teams getting coached several times a week and it's all a shame. Any individual flair or talent is trained out, definitely. And isn't it mad? Because like when you see like Grealish when he comes to Everton, what was the thing he said? That Moyes had said to him? Well, yeah, you just go and do the thing you like doing, you know. You don't have to do these sprints 100. You've got to work. And he proved the other night he could do all you... Like, he had a different performance the other night. Him and Jack, their attacking numbers weren't very good. The work rate they put in, the effort, you want that. That's great. But Jack Grealish has still created the most created 24 chances. So in our team, he's comfortably the most. Sort of, the output's the best, rather. So it's, Michael Allishay, like Philip says, released by Chelsea, Arsenal, City before Reading gave him a chance. This is it. LTL says, spot on, Baz, when I just go for Blackburn, they were the same. Mick O'Brien argued the same point. Move over Junior Hoylett. Mick was from the Wirral Excellent Scout. R.I.P. Mad Everton fan. James Rodriguez, unbelievable footballer. The few and far between, aren't they? Philip Everton says Ronaldo's probably the third best Ronaldo behind R9 and Ronaldinho, who changed his name from Ronaldo. Philip says people under 30 don't know R9 though. I wore a mid-90s Barca kit with Ronaldo on the back and had people telling me Ronaldo played for Madrid.
I'm not being funny, right? The fucking morons if you don't know R9. If people don't know R9, they're morons. Simple as that.
Blue Amsterdam says the strikers have to be big and strong because defenders are bigger, stronger and faster.
Yeah, but that's
If you're a good footballer,
talent is talent.
you can get away from big, strong, fast defenders. Strikers come alive in the box. I'm not talking about, you have to do it if you're trying to thread them in round the back, but no one does that. Generally, it's about being in the box. You're clever enough, your touch is good enough, and you can build up your physical strength.
Again, enjoy
Proving it. Receive the ball, let them be all over you, go down, free kick. Get in the box, they can't touch you, be a good finisher, be a good dribbler. Daniel Barton says, and Jai's always been good at getting back and defending. That's why he's always knackered. Yeah. Crimson says, the amount of players I've seen with a great touch, good vision, and who knows when to play a pass. I mentioned it to a coach, and they go, yeah, he's too small, though. Yeah, it's crazy, mate. It's crazy. And Mark, right, yeah, spot on. PSG team last year were a great example of how football should be played. And they had loads of little players who were really good in possession. So, Cumbrian Toffee says, how can you call yourself a football fan and not know R9ers, regardless of when you were born? It is, isn't it? It's like not knowing, it's like us. We never seen Pele. He was a thing before we were born and all that. We all knew Pele, didn't we? You're there the Pele and you're there the, like George Best and kids. You know how good these footballers were. He was incredible. Incredible. Stacey says, just saw the news that Parsons the referee on Saturday. How is he still allowed to referee us? Why don't the club complain? Absolutely, mate. And the worst thing is, we had him the last but one home game. How's he back there so soon? When the controversy of that Tottenham game as well. How is he back there? 2 penalties we should have had, he didn't give us. He disallowed a goal. That was nothing wrong with it. Mad. Absolutely mad. But I don't. If it was me, I'd be having a word with the FA or PTMOL.
Well, if anything does happen, I hope Moyes references it. I hope nothing does happen, but if anything does happen, I hope Moyes references it. Have we got him again? Yeah.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Because it's just, I just look and think, how is he back so soon? It's supposed to, well, I have no idea how they do it, to be honest. There's me saying it's supposed to be random. I've no idea, but it just feels mad that when we've had him 2 games ago at Hill Dickinson and he caused murder like he normally does, he's allowed back. I find it crazy. Danny Church says, how much would Sheedy be worth today? It's loads, isn't it? There's loads of those players who, it's unbelievable. Tony Crompton says, I saw Pele at Goodison. Wow, that's incredible.
Amazing. Seen R9 at Goodison, very lucky.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable, It's great, isn't it? We've seen R9 and we've seen Dennis Strachwell-Ersey, like the 2 ends, isn't it?
Yeah. Very much the South
Brett Angel.
South
well, Brett Angel, I mean, the South End, from
South American and South End,
yeah, from Brett Angel. So 2 contrasting, things. Brett Angel, 6'3", wasn't he? I know I'd rather have. But yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get some premiere for these ones right quickly through these before we go. Where are we? Derek says, regarding Chelsea, last season I posted that they've got a talented squad who play like they just met 20 minutes before the game, and I hadn't changed my mind. It is, they are weird. because you do look at them sometimes and go, oh, it looks like it's clicked a little bit now, and then you watch them again and they get beat by Sunderland, and you're like, now if you were the real deal, this would have been 4-0. Especially that Sunderland game. I'm sure they scored, and they scored quite early on in it as
it's
well.
not having that experience, I think, is the problem with them. Just not having someone to calm them down.
It's mad. Alex says, Dewsbury, Garner and Tim for me in midfield. We need 3 of them in there battling against the Newcastle midfield, which is a strong one. Correct. Charlie's impact off the bench, and that might be needed against Bournemouth too. Steve P says, I've been oddly confident about the Barcodes the last couple of years at home. I think it's because we can't stand them that much, so I know the atmosphere is going to be really good, and we're going to make it horrible for them, especially with Tony G playing. That gives us an advantage.
Yeah.
The PSV stat about 2008 was that they hadn't won in England since then. There you go. AJ says, Ped, are you ready for the slot Rangers links to heat up?
They've always been there, mate.
Been calling
They've always been there.
AJ says, I hope they keep Slot at least till Christmas, like we've waited for years to be singing the blues. It's going to get boring soon, especially after their big 6-pointer on Sunday. Well, if we could win Saturday night, then they'd have to hammer the hammers, wouldn't they, to go above us? So, AJ says also one big thing that needs addressing from Anfield last night is the booing. We've had years of them saying they're above booing. I mean, twice on the run, Saturday and then last night. AJ says, you're saying football's all about bullying teams. You think if a new Messi came to the scene, he could still do it? Because I just think the way football is, that's why we love Jai so much. He's just
Messi could do it in any era.
Do you think if he came to the Premier League, he'd have... Yeah.
Would have been easier for him.
But there was a time it looked like he was going to City, didn't it?
Yeah.
It really did look like he was going to Man City. That would have been unbelievable to watch. Mark Max says, fans of football love our wingers, Jacken and Jai, as these days the type of players are why you love football. They're just speed merchants we tried to buy in the past. Nonso, Suleiman and Dan James haven't worked out. I think you need one of them in your squad, and I would still love one, just to try and mix it up every now and again. Or if they're not working, to give the opposition a different challenge. But when teams are trying to be built on them, well, that's all you're looking. It doesn't really work, does it? I mean, you look, we've gone from, Jack Harrison and Lindstrom and Dwight McNeil to having... No, but what I mean is we've gone from that style to having Jack Grealish, Nillerman and Jai, and then you've got Dibbling there. It's a big change, isn't it? Jay says, Garner and Tim in midfield, Jake at right back for this one, as we'll need his height against the horse punches. Sarah, Blues fan, says, just had my successful ballot application confirmed for the Arsenal game.
Good.
Not sure, but I've been successful every home game so far. You're on a lucky run.
Right.
Stephen Segerberg says, would be tempted to play Garner at right back to take care of Gordon in midfield.
That is the worry, like the left there, whoever plays on the left side for them.
Well, Gordon played through the middle the other night.
I'll do that.
Harvey Barnes was on the left and he's been scoring, so I can't see them taking him out. So whether they put Gordon on the right and take Jacob Murphy out, or they just leave Gordon up and leave Walter Maid on the bench.
Do that as well.
Jay says, I genuinely, no joke, went for a prostate check this morning walking back to work. Afterwards, I couldn't help think the procedure I'd just faced will prepare me nicely for the... for what we'll receive from Craig Pawson on Saturday.
Fair play.
Michael Kearney says, do you think there's a unique set of skills developed when playing street football? Remember breaking my arm, diving into a Gareth Gentry post to save a goal. Good times.
Yeah, there is, of course, because you got to look after yourself and you've got to have close control. But you've got to protect yourself as well. Yeah,
definitely. AJ says, I also think that's why we love Richie, because he also has that inner Brazilianness in him.
Well, he fought, didn't he? He fought for it.
Max says, when I debate who the best strikers is, I don't include R9, because the only debate is really who is the second best striker in the world. Correct. Ian says, Dewsbury Hall and Garner, O'Brien at right back, Alcaraz as the number 10. I think that's a midfield we'd like to see tried, but I'm not convinced it's Saturday's the time to do. I think their midfield three for them are really assured and work hard, and I think we might need to be a little bit cautious at times with those three, but there's the opportunity obviously then to change it with Alcaraz. Rob Williams says maybe Pawson likes our toffee donuts. Well, the amount of money Vets are paid, you can buy them, no problem. But yeah. So there we go. Emma says, never see kids playing footy in the street these days.
No, you don't. You don't, then.
Spot on, Emma. You don't. And it's sad, really, because that is where
but
a
the
lot
other
of
side
the
of it
club's
is, though,
control is.
But the other side of it is, though, I never see kids playing. I've said this a few times. There's an all-weather not far from ours by Alderey. And I never see, when I'm walking the dog, you never see kids playing it. I'm like, and it has lights till 10 o'clock. And I'm just like,
that's mad.
Why don't kids play footy in there? Like, it's like it's not part of kids' thing anymore.
Culture,
they brought up playing, it's our iPads now and everything's so protective. And I know the world's changed, that I do appreciate that. But you barely ever see kids having like a game of like, I don't know whether it's too small for them, but you just never see kids playing games in there, having full on 5 against 5, 6 against 6, whatever it is. It just seems broken up. They're all doing their own little thing. Yeah. It's just a different world from what we were brought up in.
Daniel Barton, YouTube member, says, remember Manny Fernandez scoring against United always reminds me of his world. Yeah, he was tremendous. Sophie said, I think this is a good point, says, do you think bringing in the likes of Dewsbury Hall and Grealish is changing the mentality? As their winners, no other Everton team would have done what we did in that adversity at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it's having those players, isn't it, pulls you through.
Yeah. Alcoholic Anonymous says, can't play on the streets, too many cars parked up on sidewalks and stuff. Every house has 2 or 3 cars. Yeah, but like Ped just said, and we've said this a few times in this city, the clubs have a responsibility. They should be throwing up them cages, in a few different places. Yeah. It's like trying to get the amount of money to just go and play it. Like, there's one close here, to just go on them all weather. But the problem is, teams training, like Zach, I took him the other night. He had training at 8:30 the other night with one of them. We're on another one tonight. It's shocking with
the council in Liverpool, and I think this should happen in most cities. The council should look to put in every park, just create an area in every single park in this city where there's an outdoor space for kids to play with lights. Yeah. When you think of so if you think about like Sefton Park, Newsham Park, Stanley Park, if you just grabbed a little small area of every one of those parks and you stuck in a little footy pitch with lights on, how much money would it really cost? And how much sort of damage is it doing really? If you did that and you got the football clubs to pay for it, and you could put on clinics as well, football clubs could come down with their community stuff, do clinics. Not only would you have a place where kids can play football, but you'd also have a place where kids would hang around, and suddenly where all the kids are, and you can monitor them, without being all big brotherish. You can sort of keep an eye on those kids. Like Zach might say to you, I'm going down to play footy on there, and you go, right, is that where you're going? Yeah, I know where you are, sort of thing. I know Zach getting a little bit past that age or coming towards that age. But if you know that's where he is, because that's where he wants to be.
That's where they learn.
And that's where they're learning footy, but also it's giving them somewhere to go.
And congregate, yeah.
Congregate, they're all together. I do, what's mad about where I was talking about is kids do congregate there together. That's what's mad. They're all in on the bikes. There's a big park, and I know there has been a few issues, and a lot of money's been spent on it. But at least you sort of know where they are. And I think it's part of a community thing. Of Everton and Liverpool could be doing clinics and go, oh, you look, actually, it's kids, what's your name? Give us some information, and pass it on to whatever. So there is something that Everton and Liverpool could get out of this by spending a little bit of money within their city.
Yeah. Well, all clubs should do it in each of the cities. Quite a few people saying you don't have knockout headers and volleys anymore, and Joshua says never see kids playing Wembley or anything like that. Leighton says heads and volleys. Dan Blue says, imagine if R9 focused solely on football and not booze and girls. He uses a different term.
R9?
Longer prime and would rival Messi's the best ever. He only went to a bit more of that party lifestyle when he was injured.
No, I think you're thinking of Ronaldinho.
R9 did have a little.
R9, yeah, but it wasn't the same way.
That was the knees.
Wasn't the same way.
2 knee injuries wrecked him. Logan says, love the channel. I love the fact we're having these good problems at the moment. It's so nice to see the fight and passion back coming out of the adversity. It's galvanised our club. Yeah. Joshua says, used to be a great footy pitch by a youth centre for teens, etc. to play on in my town, but the council got rid of it for housing. Yeah.
But that's the point. Go to parks that are already there. Didn't you think of like Sefton Park? There's loads of space in Sefton Park to build a couple of courts, especially by the tennis courts up the top. There's loads of space to build 2 or 3. And you could do it in Nugent Park. And you're not like taking anything away from the park itself. The park's still there. There's still loads of space. But suddenly you've got an area, Stanley Park, right somewhere. You could. It's just all it needs is the council. And if you'll have people going, "Oh, this is a disgrace, taking my green space." Like you're not. You are, but you're not. You're not building over it.
No, when we went, this is like it's the same thing, but it's just an example of it, right? When we were on holiday, we went to wherever we went. I think this summer, Gran Canaria, right? They had on the complex we were on. They had a cage, with like an Astro. Yeah, it wasn't massive, but it was a thing. And Zach just went and played. It was like in the middle of the freaking day. It was 90 degrees and they're playing, but in the night they'd all be there and they had some lights and they just played till like 10:30 at night. Got the ball and they just went and played. And they were all there, so all the kids were like, and there was ones who were probably like 10 up to about 16, they were just all there. And it was great for them, and they're just there playing, so and I know it's on holiday, it's slightly different, but there was people from like Newcastle and down south and Wales, and they all just went together and had a game. By the end, they were all like sort of mates. Well, you get that in your city.
It encourages a lot more than just playing football. It encourages like social skills.
Being able to speak, because they're just on these. So they don't
social skills, social, like, when you have no ref and stuff and you've got to talk to each other and make sure, all that stuff. For me, I don't understand. It's just a tapping. It's an absolute tapping for, and when you're saying you're spending like, it might be 120 quid to hire out one of these pitches now.
Yeah, it's scandalous.
It's absolute scandal. Absolute scandal.
There just should be, just need to be more for both. Get kids congregate, and I know, listen, in an ideal world, it'd be more of like The Simpsons, where the staff there and secure to make sure nothing untoward.
Say everyone was yellow then?
Well, yeah.
No, but kids.
No, listen,
think about it. Kids like that though. Kids like being left alone. Kids like feeling like
just to make sure that nothing go.
No, I know, but I do think kids like we played footy all the time. We were kids, and we were playing in the places where we shouldn't have been playing. But that's part of the thing of like, you like to just be left alone, make up your own rules, get on with it. Someone not critiquing everything you do, having to problem solve in those situations. This is something that there's loads of these cages in South London, and that's why so many good players have come out of it, is that learning how to play football in small areas and not being coached by someone and not being told what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing and just getting on with it. I think, in this day and age, as I said, it just, for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. Yeah. A no-brainer.
Just a couple before we finish now. I just seen someone, Blue Amsterdam, it might have been, saying Saturday's a season-defining game and all that. I don't know, because you can say that, and you might be right. We could play and win, and it elevates us again, of course, and hopefully that's what we do. But then we could go and get beat by Bournemouth and Forest, and then what does that mean? Do you know what I mean? So I think we just need to just take game by game, see what we get out of it. We'd only won 1 in 8, haven't we, the other week? Thought we'd be Fulham or something. And everyone was saying we're going to be in the relegation battle, and then the next minute we've won, and now we're talking Champions League. The league's tight. You need to keep momentum going. You're right, if we win, it builds on top of the great results, going to a hugely difficult game, which is Bournemouth away. But let's just see what happens. Let's just keep that, work hard, and see what we can do. It's on the crowd as well for me. If the crowd get hostile like we were at Goodison, last season when Gordon missed the pen and all that, because they were playing all right then, and we weren't, and we ended up done all right that day, didn't we? We can beat them. They're not brilliant, Newcastle, far from it. They've got really good players at times, but they've lost their away form's not very good. They're good at home, so that's all we can do. Dig in and see what we've got. Good enough players to beat them. If the crowd can be the difference at the weekend, put pressure on the referee from the first whistle, every tackle, everyone out the seats like they were against Palace, create that hostility in the stadium, make the noise, and if we could actually take a decent set piece, you might be all right. Because our set plays are absolutely shocking at the moment. Absolutely shocking. Phil says, we all watching Planes, Trains and Automobiles today then, yeah?
I watched it I think it was on Sunday night on BBC Two. I watched it on Sunday night.
Belter. Daniel Church's great show again, lads. Cheers, mate.
Boop, 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 boop.
AJ says, we also need to stop kids purposely destroying stuff that really annoys. Yeah, you see them just wreck them, some of the places as well.
But that's not a reason not to build them, though.
Have more security there or something, or CCTV or something.
Better parenting.
It's not just that though, mate. It's when they're together. Your kid might be great, might have been parented brilliantly, and then they're mixing with ones who might not. What were your favourite street football games? Kirby was one.
I did enjoy a game of Kirby now and again.
Headers and volleys, yeah.
Heads and volleys, loved heads and volleys. We used to have this, we used to have this one, because I lived next door to an entry, just a thin entry, and we used to do one where we just stood at each end and just see if we could score. Stay with the goals. And you do it with your left foot and your right foot, or it might only be like 2 touch. So what the first touch might have to be the save, and then the second touch is your shot. And all these little, it literally is like the Karate Kid. It's literally honing all these skills to play football that you're not even didn't even realise you were aware of.
We used to go in to the local school.
We did
on the yard. We used to play bar, so they had like this thing that stuck out. By my nan's, it was in Silver. The old Holt school, and it used to have, it was just a cover, you come out of a door, but it just had the little cover, but it wasn't very big, so it looked like a big goal, but it was a roof behind it, but again it was about 4 foot and under, and you just had to hit the front, so it was bar, and it was the first of 3, and we'd all do it.
We had so we went into Sudley Infants, and it was a nice little piece of grass, but it had fence around it, so and it was the same. It was like, but there was 2 trees, and they were perfect width. Goals. Absolutely perfect. And that was against the fence. So when you scored, bounced off the fence, it was perfect. And it was all like, so we'd play like doubles. So you'd have like, say, like 4 pairs, and then you'd have to score 1, and then you went through to the next anyway. And that's how we did it. You self-managed it. And we had all like stupid rules. Like if it went over, then you were automatically out. But I always remember, and it's always stuck with me. I remember scoring an absolute worldie, and it bounced off the fence, hit the tree, and went over. And they said I was out. And and everyone gangs up, "God, you're out, you're out." It's like, no, I scored first. That doesn't count. It doesn't count. Still angers me now. Still angers me now.
Still fuming.
But like, because we were playing in like a little cage, sort of like a little cage. Well, you didn't have to go running miles for the ball. No. The ball couldn't be smashed up the pitch. Yeah. So everything was nice and close. And you were... it was...
We had that was my whole
till the Parkies come and legged you.
We were playing on the Holt as it was. And I was playing with like lads who were 3 years older than me.
That's what I always
and that gives you you get used to that, you know what I mean, from a young age. That was why in school I ended up always playing
I played a year ahead in school as well. I played a year ahead.
Senior school, I played 2 years ahead. But it was used to getting kicked everywhere by older lads, and it taught you everything. And now, they're not allowed to do anything.
I played for my senior school when I was in junior school, yeah.
Well,
I was playing college football when I was in the infants.
I played for the first 11 when I was in year 10. You know what I mean? That's what I was saying. But it was that was where you learnt it all, didn't you? Because of that, and it was great, and it was somewhere to go, and you'd go and have games, and it was brilliant.
And you'd be playing against lads who were 3-4 years older than you, and you had to look after yourself. Yeah. You had to learn. You had to learn out what to do and how to beat them, and get skills to beat them. And all this stuff's being binned.
You're spot on.
And you'd buy you get a Casey, but when you bought
The
it,
Wembley Trophy.
but when you bought it, it wasn't perfect. You had to it almost had to be scuffed in. So it was the leather was perfect for playing on concrete and stuff. There was a sweet spot. Beautiful.
All of the things. That's right. Yeah, right. I'll just race through a few of these because they're just the games. 3 and in. Yeah, you should play that. Shooty on a 5-a-side pitch. Well, that was a version. Your entry one. That's what a shooty was, wasn't it? Red Ash, Silas says. Sinisius says spot against the tree in Crocky Park. Chris the Toffee says couldn't be playing Wally on your own or kicking the ball against the wall. Yeah, but that's great for controlling the ball. Learning how to control it, isn't it? Jumpers for goals. Playing with tennis balls. Yeah, definitely. There was always one who would never accept red ass. Yeah. Orange Trophy footballs. Yeah. Yeah. The Wembley Trophy, the best ball ever. It was brilliant. All good. Flyaway. Yeah, flyaways.
Oh,
terrible, weren't they?
Flyaways.
You'd be all excited and then you'd kick it and it'd just be like...
like a Jumanji ball.
Prodigy fan says, we used to sneak on and play in a bowling green when I was 9, 10, 11 until the guy who looked after it chased us off. The grass was great, felt like we were playing at Wembley. Yeah, we used to go down to, Mather Avenue and play in the hockey goals.
Yeah.
Oh, they were amazing. You get chased off there after a bit, but you could get a few games in before you got chased. It was amazing.
We used to, when we were kids, we had a net as well, I remember. And if any time there was goals up anywhere, we'd just take the net and throw it over them.
Yeah.
But I remember playing in games in Sefton Park, and it was the classic 25-a-side.
Yeah. Called pick-up games.
Yes, I did just call that ball a Jumanji ball.
Super.
Honest to God.
Mitre Ultimate, Mitre Delta. Yeah, incredible. Right, we could do this all afternoon. We're not going to. Thank you.
Like Billy Butler, don't we?
Yeah.
Remember fingers. Remember when Toblerones didn't have big gaps between them? Shrinkflation.
It's just one of them. Mitre tactics, good for the concrete. They were. Listen, someone got put in the naughty zone before for being abusive. When you're on here, you're here to just chat. No need to have a go at people or be abusive to each. I'm talking about each other. It wasn't to me or Pet. They're in fighting in it. So you will get put in the naughty. You'll get sin-binned. Be respectful. It's dead easy. It's dead easy. There's no need for it. So there you go. Right. Take it easy. And see you soon.